Yo, what's going on, people? What's happening? I just wanted to come through and give y'all a little help with something, man, because I was looking at Facebook and I was strolling through, and somebody asked a question about can you use copywritten music for like 30 seconds or whatever, and they were getting different answers. Some saying 30 seconds you can use it as long as it's not more than 30 seconds. Some of them saying you can use it 10 seconds, and that's totally not true. You will get sued if you use somebody else's music, period. And that 30-second rule, I'm telling you from a friend's experience that I helped out, you're going to get sued. And you may not get caught right away, but it could catch up to you. And when it does, it's going to be like a hammer on you. So it's just best not to use it. Now, you get a lot of people who say, well, my friend used the music for 30 seconds. Ain't nothing happened to him. He been using it for 5 years or 2 years or yeah, he's been using it ever since he started podcasting. They ain't said nothing yet. For one, they are cracking down on people who use copywritten music without permission. They got all types of new software that detect copywritten music. And if you ain't got permissions, especially if you're putting it on YouTube, if you ain't got permissions, you're done. YouTube will cut you short. They'll let you know. They'll give you a couple of warnings, but they'll let you know, like, yo, this is copywritten music, and you can't use it. Let me tell you how high tech this world is. Even if you use a picture that's copywritten and you put it on your website, it can detect pictures too. I've had one of my clients do that too. They put, I forgot what picture it was, but it wasn't theirs, and they made them take it off. So the people who owned it got in contact with them. I think it was a cease and desist letter, and told them they had to take it down. And the same thing for music. You know, they do the same thing. It's a cease and desist letter. So don't go falling for that. You can use it for 30 seconds. You can use it for 10 seconds. You use it for 5 seconds. You can't use it at all. And like I said, a lot of people say, well, you know, my friend been using it for a while. He ain't get caught. Let me give you a good example of how this how this works, or, you know, how you can get caught. So a lot of people say my friend's been using it, or I've been using it for this long. They ain't said nothing yet, so I can use it. Okay, don't do that, because here's the thing: if you know 30, 40 people who went and who robbed banks, and they robbed banks, they've been robbing banks for years, getting away with it, doing their thing. They taking money, they getting away with it. They living it up because they got money, because they robbed banks and they never got caught. You look at them and say, okay, well, they never got caught, so I can go rob a bank and I won't get caught. That's a totally different thing. You see what I'm saying? You can get caught. If you go rob a bank, there's a possibility that you can get caught. Even though your peoples, people who rob banks and they don't get caught, you can get caught. You know what I'm saying? Same with this music, this 30-second thing. You may know people who use copywritten music and they don't get caught, but the minute you use it, you probably be the one that get caught. You get that cease and desist letter if you're lucky, and they'll tell you to take it down. But a lot of these people are making examples. These record labels, they're making examples out of people, and they're not even giving you cease and desist letters. They just saying shut it down, and see you in court. And it's going to cost a lot of money, and you're going to get taken for a lot of money. Even the lawyers will cost you a lot of money. So I wouldn't use it. I did a podcast about I think it was episode 10. I think it was Start to Finish Podcasting, episode 10, I think it was. And I had a lawyer on there who we talked about, the legalities of podcasting, how you can't use certain music and pictures and stuff like that. So you could check it out. But and I also did a video, I don't know, maybe a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, about the same thing. But this time I just wanted to, do it again, kind of update it or whatever. There's one more thing that it's a very important thing that you need to know. And this happened to one of my clients too. They got permission from the artist, yo. They got permission from the artist, the person who wrote the song, in writing. They got it in writing. He said they were allowed to use his music, so that person used it, and they got sued. You know why? Because even though the artist is the artist of that particular song or track or whatever it may be, he don't own it. The record label owns it. And in a lot of cases, the record label owns a lot of those songs. Even though the person wrote it or sings it or whatever, don't be fooled because, the person who's, who the music that you're using, the person that's singing the song, the artist, let's say you can use it, or the songwriter said you can use it. If it's owned by the record label, you have to get permission from the record label. You can't get it from the artist or whatever, or whoever, because they're not the owners of the music. They sign these contracts, and all of the stuff that they make is not theirs. So that's why you see a lot of artists, not to get off topic, but that's why you see a lot of artists saying, they don't own the rights to this music, or they may get a few royalties or whatever, but a lot of times they don't own that music. It's the record label. So just be careful with that, and remember, 30 seconds, you can't do it. You can't do it for 10 seconds. You can't do it for 5 seconds. You can't do it at all. So just make sure, you remember that when you go to use copyrighted music. Just don't use it, man. You can make plenty of beats on GarageBand. I use Logic Pro 10. I make beats with Logic Pro 10. And they just as good. I'm telling you, they just as good, if not better. And anybody can make some beats. It's just a matter of putting that stuff on the track and all of that stuff, and it's not hard. So just make your own beat. You know what I'm saying? You don't need nobody else's music, man. Just make your own beat and do your own thing. That way you ain't got to worry about getting sued or nothing, man. All right? So that's going to be it, man. I just wanted to hit y'all up and let y'all know, look, just be careful using copywritten music. Don't let it get to you. Don't let people say, hey, look, you can use it for 30 seconds, but because you can't. All right. This is Dre, and I'm out. Peace.